Okay, so here's why I won't be playing The Last of Us 2. I will never own that game. I will never support that game. I've lost faith in Naughty Dog, and this is why. Okay, I'm I'm just gonna go straight to what I really want to show you guys. Okay, I'm gonna make another video talking about like the political side, right? Like, this game had a bunch of agendas, right? Like, just, I mean, oh dude, come on, really? Okay, so look, I'm not gonna talk about those things in this video. I'm just gonna point out some facts, right? I'm just gonna say things that are real, that happened, okay? Things that should make you as a gamer and a consumer really consider the next time you think about pre-ordering a game. I haven't pre-ordered a game since it was Dark Souls 2. That was the last game I pre-ordered. Dark Souls 2 for the PS3. That was the last game I pre-ordered, and I pre-ordered it because I was such a huge fan of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. I pre-ordered Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 2 came out, and in my opinion, it's the worst Souls game in the series, right? But that's a different story. A story I won't even talk about ever, because whatever. So this game, The Last of Us 2, it's full of false advertisement. You know, they made a lot of people. They made me think, you know, that Joel was going to live. He was alive and well. He was going to be included in this story, in this adventure, right? But they kill him off in 2 hours, right? And I think everyone at this point should know that this game's been out for a while, and before that, there was leaks have been out for a little more than a month now, right? So a lot of people should already know what happens to Joel. I have friends that don't even have PS4s that sent me messages on my WhatsApp saying, dude, did you know what happened to Joel? You know, I know you're a big fan of The Last of Us. You know, they know I play The Last of Us Remastered, the multiplayer. I mean, I platinumed the game. It's an incredible game, right? But these are people who own Xboxes. They don't own a PlayStation 4, and they know what happens. So, like, if you don't know what happens, then you're really living under a rock, okay? So in the trailer, in this example, someone prevents Ellie from advancing. This man puts his hand over her face, and she freaks out, turns around, and asks, "What the hell are you doing here?" And then the camera points to Joel. It shows us Joel, and he says, "You think I would let you do this all on your own?" Around there, he says that, you know. And then later on, it shows him, you know, with Ellie. They're together. You know, they're taking out infected together. You know, they're geared up. You know, Ellie's geared up, right? And really, something that you should see is that Joel's old. He's aged a lot. I mean, this game takes place years after part 1, you know. So he's older. He's a lot older. That's what the trailer shows us. He's older, right? So quickly, let's go back and talk about that scene where this man puts his hand over her face and prevents her from moving forward, and she turns around and says, "What the hell are you doing here?" Right? So the trailer shows us Joel. It was Joel that stopped her. It was Joel that spoke to her, and it was Joel that she spoke to, right? But what really happened is it was this guy whose name is Jesse, right? It was his hand. He's the one that stopped her. It wasn't Joel. So in the trailer they showed us Joel, but in reality it was Jesse. Why would they show us Joel in the trailer? Well, because they want you to think that, you know, he's going to be with her throughout the entire thing. I mean, he said, like, "You think I would let you do this all on your own, all by yourself?" I mean, those words are enough to make anyone believe that, okay, you know, she's not going to be alone. throughout the game. You know, it's gonna be both of them, just like in part 1, right? Because that's what a lot of people wanted, but that's not what we got, right? Or at least that's not what you got, because I'm not a fool and I didn't buy any of that bull crap, okay? And I do mean it. Whether you are a relative of mine, a very close friend, you are a fool to even buy this game and support them, because I know you were hoping that the story would be a lot better than it turned out to be, and it wasn't, okay? So take that as you will. I don't care. So then after that, it shows, you know, Joel, he's very old, he's aged, right? And even Ellie has, you know, like grown hair, you know, she's letting her hair down, it's growing. They're both older. Well, in these scenes, it turns out that they're flashbacks. So in the trailer, when it shows Joel geared up and old, it shows Ellie geared up and old, right? Where we're supposed to think, okay, they're in this together, they're in this adventure together, you know, they're killing infected together. But in reality, it was a flashback. You know, that's bait. You know, they made you think that they were going to be a pair, just like in part 1. Again, that's what made part 1 so incredible. And that's not how it was in part 2, right? Now, I don't remember all of the pictures that I downloaded, right, to show you, because I really wanted to show you guys these pictures, okay? And I don't have a program to use on my computer, okay? I'm too lazy for that. All the videos that I make, it's on SHAREfactory for the PS4, so I can appreciate that, you know, from Sony, right? But when I saw the ending, the reason why I thought, oh my gosh, like what a terrible ending. You're telling me that Ellie lost her best friend, Joel, who is pretty much her father, you know, or at least a father figure. She loses him. Her girlfriend gets beat up. I can't remember, again, because I didn't play the game. I just saw bits and pieces of it, and I saw the ending. I saw Joel die, and I saw the ending, okay? Jesse gets his butt whooped, right? And maybe he dies. I think he dies. The point is that her friends are getting beat up, abused, threatened, killed, murdered, you know, all that stuff, right? She has, okay, oh, and she gets her fingers bitten off. Her ring finger and her pinky finger get bitten off by Abby, the person who is responsible for all this pain, for all this death, the person that is responsible for all of that, right, bites her fingers off. Right now Ellie has her underwater, and she has an opportunity to kill her, right, to get revenge for what she did, for all the pain that she's responsible for, right? Then then Ellie gets a flashback of Joel playing the guitar, and then she like lets her go and says, just take the boy and leave, right? Then she hops on a boat, takes off, right? And we don't know what happens after that, right? So now it's just Ellie by herself sitting in the water, right? And then it goes to the next scene where she's in the house, right? And she picks up the guitar and she's trying to play notes. And I started laughing. Because there's some notes that she could not play completely because she's missing her fingers. You know, I could not find a picture of it to show you, but in the trailer we see her playing the guitar very well, right? She has all of her fingers, right? And even in the game, I mean, she has all her fingers and she's playing the guitar. You know, Joel taught her how to play the guitar just like he said he would in part 1, right? But now she can't. You know, she can't play the guitar anymore because Ellie bit off her fingers. You know, like, oh dude, that's so funny. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. I mean, I would be pretty upset if my best friend, or let's say like a father figure of mine, right? If he were to teach me how to play an instrument, right, that I love so much, right? And then someone goes ahead and just like removes a limb or appendages, right, that are important to play that instrument, I would be furious. And I would keep thinking about that person that took away, you know, whatever it is that I need to play, you know, that instrument. That's what would go through my head, man. Like if I was Ellie and I'm trying to play a freaking D or an E or a G, right? I mean, like, I would be like, I would be so upset, you know, because you need your ring finger, and you really do need your pinky too. I mean, you need all your fingers to play the guitar properly, or maybe you don't. But I know a couple of chords, right? And I know how to play one song on the ukulele, right? I mean, like, you do use your pinky and you do use your ring finger, but I mean, like, oh my gosh, like, what a stupid story. What a stupid way to end that game, man. You know? Like, and then I saw other reviews. I saw guys making reviews, and they were so scared, you know? They were so scared to call out all the things that I'm saying. Super scared. All they said was like, oh, the game looks great, okay? The game looks beautiful, alright? Like, one of the best look, Naughty Dog makes very graphically appealing games. Look at Uncharted, The Last of Us Part 1, you know? I mean, these games look really good. I can agree with that. The people that they hired to make the music, you know, also amazing, alright? But the thing is graphics, you know, music, it's not everything. Storytelling, okay? The story, character development, okay? I mean, those are the things that make, like, I don't know, maybe like 85% of the game. That is incredibly important. Look at how well God of War did, okay? It was graphically impressive, right? The acting was amazing. The voice acting was amazing, okay? The music was very good. The game mechanics, the fighting, the animation, all those things were great, okay? I mean, they kind of adopted The Last of Us Part 1, right? I mean, it was Kratos, old, right? And then he has a son, right? To protect, just like in Part 1 in The Last of Us, right? Why did that game do incredibly well and this game is getting so much hate, okay? Like, why? You know? I mean, the story is amazing, man. The story for Part 1 and The Last of Us is amazing. You know, if you take away that virus, you don't get Ellie, you don't get Joel ever meeting, okay? There's no need to have that. There's no need to have that adventure, that story. The virus is what made the game, okay? The virus is what made Ellie, you know, she was immune. She went on this adventure with Joel, you know, so that they could find a cure. But then Joel finds out that in order to get a vaccine, in order to find a cure, she needs to die. And he didn't want that. Why? Because he loved her, you know. There was something about her that reminded him of his daughter that he lost, you know. You got this guy that's old and damaged. He went through a lot, right? And the game did such a great job making me, who is not a parent, who is not a father, who is not old and damaged, feel his pain. Understand what he went through, right? That game did an incredible job doing that, okay? Now you have Part 2, right? They're still infected in the world. They're still clickers and all that stuff, and there's new variations and new like mutated forms of infected individuals, whatever, right? But the game doesn't fall. The game doesn't depend on that anymore. You take away the virus from part 2, you still get that crap story. You still get that crap storytelling. You still get, oh my gosh, dude, like, it's garbage. It's garbage, right? But that's the point I'm trying to make here. You take away the virus from part 1, you don't get The Last of Us. You take away the virus in part 2, you still get that crap game. It's a story about violence, and I mean, like, what? I mean, like, oh my gosh, like, it's terrible. It's terrible. They should really, I hope they get sued. I really do hope they get sued, because the points that I made earlier in the video should be enough to make you, as a gamer, upset enough to just, stop pre-ordering games, guys. Stop pre-ordering games. Make these game developers work for the money, okay? They need to work for their stinking money, alright? Like, it pisses me off. It really does. It pisses me off so much. Games are turning out to be just bad, man. If it's not the story, excuse me, if it's not the story, because a lot of games nowadays are looking great. I have an Xbox One X. At this point, I think I'm gonna get the Xbox. Well, I'll probably get like the newer consoles, but I mean, if it's not the story, it's microtransactions. They make a game that's like 50% complete and they release it. They release the rest of it in DLC and they expect you to pay another $20-30 for it. I don't know. That's another rant. But if you stuck around this long, thanks. But I'm very disappointed in Naughty Dog. I'm very disappointed with how everything came about. They have an unnecessary sex scene. And I saw it because I was very curious how that turned out. Because a lot of people were saying, just how awkward. And let me tell you, it is awkward, bro. I could only imagine how many guys out there, right? How many guys, and I'm sure, girls can also look at porn, whatever, right? But just think about how many guys out there that watch that sex scene and they're just like, oh, well, I guess I'm into this now. Like, it's so bad. That was like the most cringe-worthy, weird, I don't know, man. Like, that was just, wow, man. What a game. And I don't mean that in a good way. That is the absolute worst thing I've ever seen a game become. And I'll say it again, man. If you pre-ordered this game thinking it was going to be great, you're laughing stock, okay? I can care less who you are. You are the reason why games are not improving. You are the reason why game developers feel like they don't have to put all their efforts, their mind and their heart into these games anymore, because they know just because you see a part 2 or some continuation or expansion of a game that did so well, right? Just because they know, as long as you see that, hey, we're making a part 2, we're continuing this game, they know they're gonna get your money anyway. These people need to be checked. Stop pre-ordering games. Stop it. Oh my gosh, stop it, man. Stop. That's all I have to say. I don't know, man. That's all I have to say. Whatever. You can like or dislike. I don't give a crap. You know, if I offended you, good, because you're stupid.